Get a grip to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, and I'm gripping my magnifying glass. Pretty much I'm gripping a magnifying glass every day. But today, our idiom is to get a grip. This is from the 1940s military. Actually know the origin of this particular idiom. And back then, it meant to put effort into something. It meant try, right? Do the best you can. I like to say do the best you can with what you've got right now. But over time and over the next couple of decades, it came to mean in colleges and on college campuses, hey, pay attention, get a grip, pay attention to get a grip on reality is how I hear it most often. I wonder why. So today I want to share some tips and strategies on how to get a grip with respect to supersizing and growing your business. We need to have some strategies, and sometimes we just need to shake ourselves and say, okay, is this really important? Does this really matter at all to what it is that I'm trying to create in business? Sometimes a lot of what we hear and a lot of what's going on doesn't really matter. Like when I think about what's going on in the economy, it doesn't really matter to how I build and grow and supersize my personal business, but it does impact a lot of other people. So sometimes we need to pay attention to things, other times we don't. So what are some tips for getting a grip and supersizing our business? Number one, stop beating yourself up for anything. And stop comparing yourself to others, other businesses, other companies. Unless it's helping you to set strategies and move forward, it's a complete and utter waste of time. It doesn't mean we're not aware of what's going on around us and what things are competing with the people we want to serve and vying for their attention, but it does mean that we don't put so much effort and energy into that we forget to focus on what our strengths are and do what we're here to do and serve people in the ways that we're here to serve them. Stop binging on anything. I don't know about you, but I tend to go in streaks where I focus on different things that I want to learn. And I guess other people would consider that binging on anything. And I think that this tip means more, don't binge on anything that isn't good for you. Don't binge on television. Don't binge on Netflix or other streaming TVs. Don't binge on any one thing that might not be good for you, like overeating, consuming too much alcohol, etc. If you can't this is a good one. If you're telling yourself, and I do work with people periodically that this is a challenge for, they can't put together a 5-year plan. They cannot imagine their life 5 years from now. So if you can't put together a 5-year plan, at least do a 5-day plan. Practice planning, and if it's hard for you to visualize and do long-term strategic planning, then at least plan your week. Start small and build up so that you are working off plans and strategies, because that's the only way we know if we're moving in the direction we want to go or not. Hey, we had a plan, either we met the plan or we didn't, and then the plan either moved us toward what we want or it didn't. It gives us a way to measure our progress and our success. Stop blaming other people for anything at all, or any challenges that you have in your life. Guess what? We make our own choices and decisions along the way, and it's all a journey. And sometimes we'll make choices and decisions that work out really, really well for our business. Other times, not so much. I mean, I've made some wrong turns in the different businesses that I've run over the years, but nothing is ever final. It's a matter of us saying, okay, we're going down this road, but maybe it's not the right road. If you've ever had a customer that felt horrible to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes we'll take on a customer or a client that we think will be okay, or we're desperate because we want this client, and then we find out that it wasn't a fit, and you only do that a couple of times before you learn to work with the people that are right for you. Excuse my throat today. I need my magnifying glass. Have fun, of course. We always want to have fun. Take stock in all that you've achieved. Don't forget to celebrate the things that have gone well for you as you're building and growing and supersizing your business. If you don't celebrate, if you don't acknowledge people and the contribution that they make to growing your business, guess what? They won't stick with you. Write things down. Focus on one thing. Focus on the things that you're awesome at and build on those. Always build on your strengths, not on your weaknesses. Remember, one of my frustrations in corporate America was performance reviews, and they were always based on what you're doing wrong and what other people think is wrong with you. I think that's probably changed now. That was a couple of decades ago, but it was super frustrating to me because I'm like, well, a lot of what other people think is wrong with us, we don't have any control over, or we don't have the ability to change. Or we just don't have the desire to change it. Budget some spare time. Make sure you're building time for planning and strategizing and thinking and just recharging your batteries into your schedule as you're building and growing and supersizing your business. Stop trying to control everything, because guess what? We can't control hardly anything. So focus on what you can control and let the rest go. Or put things in place that will protect you for things you can't control. If you don't have insurance, and I don't know very many business owners that don't have insurance these days, especially after COVID-19. If you don't have insurance, depending on the area that you're in, chances are something's going to happen along the way as you're building and supersizing your business that causes you a big setback. And do you want to have to dig out of a hole that you could have prevented? I say no, but it's up to you. Don't over worry. Take short breaks. Remember to take breaks and recharge your batteries. Cut out the non-essentials. Anything that isn't essential in your business, I'm always looking at how can we do things more efficiently, more effectively. How can we get better results, and continually improving all of the processes that I use in my businesses. And I invite you to do the same. That involves cutting out waste and unnecessary things. One of my pet peeves from manufacturing was rework. Every time you have to rework something, if you don't do it right the first time, it costs you way more than if you did it right the first time, or if you fix the system that was causing mistakes to occur in the business. Buy your time back. Know the value of your personal time and of the time of the people that work with you, and make sure that if there's ways to flip out by getting someone else to do some of the tasks and things that you're doing, that you do that. Buy your time back. It's a lot less expensive to buy some of your time back than it is to spend your time and energy on things that aren't moving you and your business ahead. Just say no to things that are not for you, and you always know if something is for you or not based on the way it makes you feel. If it makes you feel good, it's moving you toward what you want. If it makes you feel bad, it's not. So just say no to anything that might make you feel a little off or bad. That's been my biggest secret weapon when it comes to saying no. And I don't know, when I was younger, I used to say yes to everything, and I used to do everything and try to do everything, and all that did was get me exhausted and burnt out. And it didn't really get me the results I wanted in some areas. And then the last one is enjoy the journey, and just make sure that you're enjoying the process of building and growing and supersizing your business. Because if you're not, it's time to make changes. All right. Love to know your experience with getting a grip on things. Always reminds me of tennis. And I remember I used to play tennis when I was younger and I could see. And my coach, my tennis coach, taught me a little tweak in my grip that improved my game like 5-fold. It was amazing. So getting a grip, learning about how to get a grip can help us to grow and build and supersize our business. Share how you get a grip in your business these days. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.